We are here with an amazing panel of experts. And we're here to talk about fraud, the different challenges that we have, each one of us in our field, in the music business. And me, myself, my name is Irene. I'm the VP of Operations at Unison. And I'm going to leave the floor to our panelists because I'm just here to accompany these awesome people. But we're going to talk about knowing that AI is a big deal lately. How many of you are musicians? Okay, how many of you use AI and are not afraid to say it? Okay, and how many use AI and are afraid to say it? With all the challenges and AI can be awesome, but because of the legal aspect and the fact that us lawyers go slow creating laws, it's a little bit behind. Not to say a lot because the AI is going so fast and the legal part of it kind of just started. So with that said, we're going to see what each one of these individuals and their companies have in the challenge of, and also we're going to see other types of frauds because I'm not calling AI a fraud, okay? Not all AI is fraud. I mean, we live every day with AI, and it's awesome for some things. Specifically for me, because I'm a little bit dry. I gotta be honest. Sometimes I'm a little bit dry, so it helps me be less dry. So that's what we're gonna do today, talk about different challenges and different types of fraud that we see in the music business and how we're trying to find our place and also find a way to correctly remunerate everybody and have as less fraud as possible. So I'm gonna give the floor to our panelists. And I'm gonna have them introduce themselves, and I'm gonna launch the first question. So you guys are gonna talk about what you guys do, but also in the first round of things, what challenges do you find in your specific field in the music? And let's start with Jack.
Hi everyone, I'm Jack. Hello.
Yeah.
There we are. I'm Jack. I'm here representing AMRA. So, for those who don't know, AMRA is a performing rights organisation working in the realm of publishing rights. So, what we do is we represent songwriters and we collect their performance rights across the globe. We're a full member of CSAC, which is the governing body. So, we have the same approach as SAGAI, PRS, other performing rights organisations. But what sets AMRA apart is that we withdrew digital rights from that system and done direct deals with the streaming services and digital platforms. So what we could do is we'd do that for the whole... Sorry.
Yeah, it keeps going in and out.
There we are. Should I just shout? Hello. Maybe it's this. Hang on. There we are. Okay, so so basically we did direct deals with streaming platforms for the globe. So what that meant is that digital revenue would come straight to us from the DSPs as opposed to flowing through the traditional society structure. So if a stream was in, let's say, Spain, instead of going through SAGAI to the local society, it would come straight to AMRA. And what that meant is that we
What we do to at Unison. What we do to at Unison.
Exactly.
Today we're not competitors, though. We're talking about
not.
the same challenges. So.
Yeah, exactly. So essentially that meant that we can pay faster and it means that there is less links in the chain, so it's better for the rights holders. So that's kind of AMRA. This became very attractive for publishers, so we've got a lot of publisher clients now as well. And for us, I think fraud. So if you think AMRA, really, the main thing we're doing is making sure that rights holders are getting as much value as possible from their rights, so their rights are exploited as much as they can be. And so fraud essentially squeezes that pool of money that we've got there to collect. So it essentially takes money out of the system, extracts money from the system. And that means that there's less there for us to essentially collect for and distribute to the real humans who are creating music. So that's kind of why fraud in general is a real issue for us. The challenges we face around this, I think, again, we don't have the ability to put our hands on the product, right? And I think we'll talk a lot about this later. But we also see a lot of, we're at the end of the, essentially like the chain, where the product is uploaded on the label side to the DSPs, and we collect the royalties. We don't have access to the product, and we just have the metadata. So what we see is a lot of streaming fraud from sort of streaming farms, you know, like also just like people toying with metadata, basically, saying it's one thing when it's another, that type of stuff. So that's kind of the main issue. And now I think with AI, that amplifies everything. So AI now you can kind of see, and I think for us, I think as individuals as well as AMRA as a whole, I think it's always been an issue, fraud, and trying to deal with it. But it's a hot topic now and becoming more so because it's just become, being able to make music has become incredibly cheap. To be able to distribute music has become incredibly cheap. And essentially what this means is that more and more value can be extracted out of the system. And it's our duty to be able to make sure that this value is flowing back to the humans that create it. And I think as an industry and as individuals working in that industry, that's kind of something we have a duty for to protect right now, to make sure that, yeah, our industry goes back and the value is given back to the people who, the humans who have created that value. And AI is just amplifying a lot of the fraud that was already there.
Yeah, so.
In a long way, that's me. Hi.
That was good. That was a really good explanation of what you guys do and what your challenges in general. And for almost every side of the music business has kind of, sometimes it's the same challenge, but from a different angle. So, exactly. Nina?
Hi.
Hi.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Hi, everyone. Yes, I'm Nina from Forward Digital. At the very beginning, thank you so much for the invitation. Thank you, Unison. It's a great pleasure to be here and speak about the AI problem, the AI situation that is concerning all of us in the music industry. So thank you again. So yes, Forward Digital, my role in Forward Digital is the commercial development. It's a French-based company. We are distributor, but we are also most of all we are a technology company. That we are developing technologies and solutions for the music industry, mostly in the terms of distribution, promotion, and protection and transparency. So I must say here the last 2 years it's been busy for us. Lots of going on, and we have created 2 technologies. One of them is a shield. It's a technology to detect and take down the music from pirate sites. And our flagship product technology is Authio. It's a technology to detect the AI-generated content with 99.42% of accuracy rate. So the technology is very unique. We have applied for a patent. The structure, the architecture is very unique. It's one of the most modern technology available at this point, at this moment on the market. And well, we see what is happening. And we are also distributors. So we have designed this technology to first of all protect ourselves. So as a challenge, as a distributor, we don't have the the problem with AI, because we are stopping in the right moment. Everything over 50% that it's detected as has over 50%, and the AI involvement we are not delivering, and we are seeing also more and more distributors are doing the same. The over 50% is considered as AI-generated music. So those, as a distributor, we don't have the challenge. We have the technology, we develop it and using it. But also, of course, as a technology company, there are large challenges that we are facing every day. A little bit how the technology is built. I say that it's very unique technology. Most of the detectors are using 1 or 3 models, and Authio is a technology that is using 12 models that are working together as a 12 models neural ensemble. So it's a very unique architecture and technology, because all of these models are detecting a totally different part of this song. So what Authio will do, it will analyze the full length of the track, and then each of the model will analyze a different aspect of the track. It is important that those 12 are working together, but at the same time separately, to give the percentage-based result of the analysis. So it's precise. As the result, you will get the precise percentage of the AI involvement in the track. It's important to give those information, because all of us, we don't need to know if this AI or not. What our clients are looking for is to precisely know in which % there is the AI involved in the composition. As the result, we will also provide the platform where the music was generated on. And as the result, it's possible also to download a full detailed report with all the analytics, a forensic spectrum, where we can see where the AI exactly is most present in which part of the track. So our mission as a company, technology company, is to provide as much information that we can gather from our analytics and from the result of the analysis, to well inform all our clients where exactly is the AI, what is, and which level is involved, and really the report has lots of detail. As more our clients are informed, then better. And as a technology company, as I say, we face challenges because we know how fast the AI is developing. It's it started from 2023. We've seen first AI music, now even a little bit earlier, and then every year we have a different version. Mm-hmm. So the mission of Forward is to stay updated. So we constantly training to assure that 99.42% that we keep the level of the detection. And also we see lots of movements in the AI. 2023, 2024, it was, I would say, way easier. There was more track human-made, 100% human or 100% AI. What we see now in the music, most of the music is hybrid.
Hybrid, yeah.
Exactly. Hybrid, so we see that the artists are using as a tool. Some people are still using it in a they create a full track on the, but most of the time the music is hybrid, which means in some percentage is also the involvement of an AI is present in some partial, it's present partially. What we see also in the music industry, what is happening very often, and it's quite alerting, because this is touching very the topic of fraud, and we have different models with different plans. So people can apply for 15 days testing mode, okay? And what we see during those tests, there are people who are analyzing over and over and over the same track to see what the result will be. So this is guiding us to one simple conclusion. There are many people who are trying to remove the artifacts in order to let it pass as a human made. And that's something that it's very alerting. And we are glad to have this possibility to see it and to capture what they are removing. And there are even groups on Reddit, and people are talking. There are even companies who are now specializing on removing the artifacts. So one problem is in AI, and is coming another problem. People are removing the AI to pass it as a human. So out here is prepare for that, is training, is we see this problem, and we are constantly heavy investing in the training to be capable of detecting even those tracks from which the artifacts has been removed. So
Good. Congratulations, because that's a really good product.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
We are very happy also that more and more people are looking for this technology, and they are really want to know what is their back catalog like, what is the composition, because we are starting to be conscious more and more, and it's great because I think the responsibility is not only on the label, it's not only on the distributor, it's not only on the aggregator, it's a responsibility of all of us, at least, to know what is our catalog like. And then, of course, everyone has the rights to decide whatever they want to do with the music. Our mission as a forward is to give the information, to detect it, to be reliable technology that you can use it in order to understand better your catalog.
Thank you. That sounds great. Well, Gigi?
Hello, I'm Gigi from BMAT. I run the charts team at BMAT, and for those of you who are not familiar with BMAT, we act as the operating system for music copyright, meaning that we are kind of the behind-the-scenes helpers for the entire industry. We run every process of rights and royalties operations, and we simplify this very complex world of music copyright. So when a track is played in a festival, in a venue, on TVs, on radios, or on a streaming platform, the creator or creators of that song need to get paid. But there's like millions of songs being played at the same time all over the world, so keeping track of this money is a bit of a nightmare, no? As you well know.
Yes.
So here's where BMAT comes in. We put a bit of order in all these cows, and these cows obviously has scaled into completely new dimensions. The way in which music is created and shared has changed. You can create millions of songs in one single day. You can chop them up, speed them up, and change them faster than ever. So our detective systems needed to get a lot smarter because our job has become more difficult. No, it's not that AI is just disrupting creativity. It's also disrupting the whole infrastructure. No, so. As anyone, I think, in the music value chain, we are on it, we are working on it, we are just putting a lot of efforts to face all these challenges that we are going to tackle today. And we're still very proud to be able to say that we help distribute over 3 billion in music royalties every year to the right creators and musicians and right holders. So thank you for the invitation. Happy to be here.
You're welcome. And I'm happy to say we use BMAT for several uses at Unison. And it's a great, all of us do great jobs in our part of on our side of the industry. And so I wanted to open up the discussion of, okay, so it's great. So we know there's AI, we know there's hybrids, and we know there's humans making music. So because the law always goes behind, like I was saying, and we have to go fast because this goes super fast. What do you think is the solution? The solution, well, that's a very broad question, actually. Do you think at least knowing that there's AI, tagging AI, Deezer says this 20% songs in their platform that were AI, that have been tagged for AI. Spotify's putting together this human artist verification. We don't really know kind of what that means. I mean, we have the idea of what it means, but do you guys think at least tagging is a good idea, at least knowing that there's AI? Do you think that's like the beginning of a solution?
Yeah, I personally think that knowing is the first step to understand, acknowledging what is our back catalog. But as AI, we have to know one thing. And now the report says that from all the music that has been delivered to stores, right? They passed it, they went through it. 85% are directly related to fraudulent activity.
Wow.
Just last year, Spotify has removed 75 million tracks. They've been suspicious and directly related with the fraudulent activity, artificial streaming. So if someone is creating a song, it doesn't have any background behind. It doesn't have really followers or any crowd. So in order to go into the recommendation, the place for the algorithm to start playing it, they have to boost it. So they're most of the time using the fraudulent streaming, the fake streaming, in order to get into the recommendation and after run the machine, right? So the AI, I mean, that's everyone's choice if they want to use the AI or not, still as a tool. It's a great tool, right? We all surrounded by AI in many ways. But it's a difference between using an AI as a support and different using AI as fully generated massive amount of music that has been delivered only to make money. It doesn't have any value. It doesn't have any it brings nothing to the music, right? It's just track to make money. So there is a question. What it will bring us delivering to the stores, right?
Right.
This different question is, especially that is related to fraudulent activity. So in the end, the distributor are sending this to the stores, and then they did the job. They invested in the music. They take the time to send it. They take the time to it costs, right? And in the end, the royalty is not being paid. So we have to all make ourselves a question, is it worth it if it's fully 100% created by AI? Until which point we're going to allow it? As I say before, as a distributor, we are allowing music that is not over 50% of AI involvement, because then we consider it's most of that AI. So we consider it as an AI. So I think those are important questions, especially there is no possibility. I mean, we still in the music, we don't have the possibility to say, let's say on Spotify, I want to listen only human-made track. I want to listen only with.
It would be. I guess that's what they're trying to do by verifying that that's a human being. But as always, the way that they're doing it, is it available to everybody, to independent artists and everything? I'm not quite sure that it's there yet. So we'll see how it goes. The only one that, from my understanding, is completely up to tagging AI is Deezer, as in per song. You are distributors. You probably know more about that than me.
Deezer is still allowing to send it. However, they don't give it to recommendation playlist.
Okay.
They don't allow the algorithm to play it for people. It's not the algorithm will consider it to give it to play it for people. That's how Deezer is still have the AI generated content. However, it's not considered by the recommendation. And I think basically, personally, also as a company, I think our audience has the right to know what they consume and has the choice.
Yeah,
the choice.
absolutely.
I want to listen to AI or I don't want to listen to AI. And what we discussed with Gigi last time, we also see people listening to Spotify and in the discovery mode, and we see the amount of music, the AI music, right? Every 2 human song, there is one AI. And people who work with the AI music, I can recognize that it's AI generated music, but 97% of the population, they cannot.
Yeah.
And the last statistic says that 54% of those who didn't recognize the music, they feel very upset about it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's not nice to
Understandable.
feel like you've been tricked into listening to something that's not human. So, Jack, I wanted to ask you, coming that we come from, we kind of cannot touch what's being delivered to the DSPs. We get the end part of it. Where do you think the responsibility should be? Because I'm sure you see it at AMRA, as I see it in Unison, that even creators come and ask us, hey, so I'm using AI for something, and can I still register the song? Do you think the responsibility should be on the creator to tell the distributor or tell the artist that's distributing the music, in the case that they're not authors themselves, to say, hey, I'm using AI? Or should it be on the label side, or should it be on the distribution side?
Yeah, I think this is a difficult one. I think the first thing I just want to say is that I totally agree that labeling is a important first step, but it's just a step in a number of things. And I think if we don't do that, I think we're stopping the essential market adjusting to be able to offer services that just offer, non-AI music, and there may be other DSPs that offer, full range of AI generated, etc. type of music. I think it's quite akin to the death of the internet, where it's that theory that I think we're already at like 80% of content online is AI generated, and that will just raise up to like 99%. And people are just gonna maybe say, well, this is useless now. Let's create a separate thing where we know that the content is not AI, and that's quite applicable, I think, to. Well, firstly, I think if you look, music's already 80% AI generated. We're very on par. And so if we label things, that enables us to be able to adjust and move in the way that could protect the value of the music industry and our ecosystem. But we'd need to understand what's AI and what's not AI for that to happen. So I think, firstly, I just want to say that I totally agree that that's really important. But where does that lie? I think we all have a part to play, really. I think it's very hard on our end when we're on the publishing side, when it comes to we don't have the products, we can't go and test these using software, etc. But we still have a part to play with our relationships with DSPs, with publishers, to make sure that they are doing that. So I think we need to, on our end of the ecosystem, is really push and make sure that these things are happening. And I think then you can look at more. I think the DSPs have a huge role. Like, I think the DSPs, essentially, their role here would be. But again, you think that's actually the end consumer, right? So I think they have a responsibility to their end consumer to make sure that they are listening to music that they've signed up to listen to. And so they need to make sure that what they're offering is that. So therefore, they need to put pressure on the labels to make sure that they're labeling it properly, because if they're not, their product goes out the window. But then if the labels, they need to make sure that their artists are tagging it right. So you kind of need, it might just happen quite organically in that sense, like, because it'll be forced on, it'll be forced for it to happen. That's the optimistic look.
Pretty obvious.
Yeah, because I just think like legislation is like how do you legislate it? Like, I think it's important, and it would be but where do you put it? How do you implement that? I think it
Right.
needs to be.
Where's the limit?
Yeah.
She said they don't accept anything that's over 50% AI. but because we're running basically because we don't have a law that tells us, okay, anything over 50% AI cannot go through. It's just that we're kind of like lost here.
Yeah, but also you got to look at it as like it's really hard because you got to distinguish between like good AI and bad AI, right? Where it's like just because something's AI generated, it doesn't mean that it's not adding value. If people are genuinely listening to it, then it's like, well, okay, that deserves to be paid. Someone's paying money to listen to this. It was made with AI. Maybe that needs to be distributed, I think. But at the same time, when you say fully AI, there's no human in thing here. I think that's a separate thing. But then I think you need to look at it more holistically rather than just labeling. I think you need to look at more like behaviors, because the problem is fraud and value extraction from the music industry. And so if you just look at the labeling and saying, well, okay, if we label and we either enforce it or it happens organically, then that might not be enough. It's like suddenly, okay, we know AI we know what we're listening to, but then it's really easy to go and set up lots of fake listeners, fake accounts, fake streams, all of these things around it, so even we could be concentrating on the product, was really, I think that what needs to happen is there needs to be a more holistic view on everything around it. So the DSPs need to be much tighter on that. Well, not much tighter, but going forward, I think they need to have that in mind more. And I think, so I think, the answer really is that I think labeling, I think that naturally has to be pushed up the chain as much as it can. That'll probably happen organically from end consumers. But I think it's a slight red herring of where it's like, we need to look at this holistically rather than just at the product, really.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think so. And Gigi, you at BMAT, you work with all kinds of right holders, CMOs, record labels, publishers. Do you see them worried, and do you see a common fear, and are they worried only about AI? Because we're basically fixating ourselves on AI, but there's other types of frauds. I'm sure that you see suspicious behaviors that do not have to do with AI.
Absolutely, yeah. Well, on the chart side, we've, apart from providing with the underlying technologies so that publishers or CMOs or CROs can distribute royalties more efficiently, we've been also acting as the official chart providers for the recorded music industry for many years now. And as chart providers or compilers, we gather information from DSPs, we process it, we clean it up, we aggregate it, and we produce this ranking of the most streamed songs in each territory. So this data has been very crucial for the recorded music industry, especially because it was a way to measure an artist's success, a song's success, to also for chart eligibility as a marketing tool. The thing is that already, since 2 years, the job of us as chart compilers has shifted totally. It's not about aggregating data and passing it along. It's about preserving the credibility of the charts. So we needed, 2 years ago, we started looking into the data from a completely new perspective, from a new angle that we never did before, or we never needed to do it before, and more from the lens of music intelligence. No? So we started looking into the data and seeing and looking for these anomalies in consumption patterns. We, as neutral third-party chart compilers, we don't have access to the information that really would help us confirm that something is manipulated, such as user-level data or device data or IP data, for example. But we discovered that with the data that we already had, which is streams per day, per song, per territory, we could do a lot of magic with that. No? So we started from the very basics of understanding which were the low and high consumption dates of the week per territory, and then we kept on adding layers, no, of anomalies. For example, when there's a huge spike followed by a massive drop on streams in a track, that would raise a big red flag, or massive jumps in a chart position from one week to the other that really don't correspond to any real-world event, such a concert or a death or a viral video, something that would raise a flag. So we've managed to create this detection system that kind of tries to guarantee that the information in the chart is still accurate. But of course, there's a big concern, because also if charts lose the credibility, also the music industry uses a very vital tool to measure real human success.
Right, and also, well, like Jack was saying, because everything here at the end of the day is about who is the real creator that's owed the money and the royalties that are supposed to be received by those creators. If there's no real creation involved, should those royalties be in the same pool as the AI or the fraud generated place? I think the answer is pretty easy. Easy to say, but not so easy to implement in the music industry, because if we don't have people like BMAT or like Ophio or Forward that stop those first find out suspicious behaviors and then not send AI generated over 50% to the DSPs, then that money is not being correctly sent to the right owners of it. So what everything that comes about is because of that. At the end of the day, those revenue pools shouldn't be together with the rest. So in general, I know we're not lawmakers. So in general, almost like continuously, do you think, Nina, that because you guys have that stopping mechanism, and hopefully other companies like yours, aggregators and distributors, start using audio, or come up with another technology? Hopefully no. Hopefully you. Do you think it's going to be something that's massively used in general, or then in the future?
I think it's very important, and we all know this. Once again, I will highlight the fact that the information is a starting point. This is how we started. We ask ourselves, how are we going to know what we have in our back catalog? And then this led us to create a technology that is helping now other companies in the distribution chain to know what they have. So this is starting point, the knowledge. And this is something that we can own from our side and from our operation assure. Also, we have designed Authio as the product for really a vast amount of analysis for the stores, for the really analyzing a big amount of audios. However, we have also decided that everyone should have the possibility to use it. So we have 5 different plans. For a small one, for everyone, every plan has a different capacity and a different price, and we did it basically to give everyone the possibility to use it. We see label interesting. We have a label test analyzing their music because they want to know what they are releasing. Distributor, we have a company, they are using Authio because it's important for them to know. And this is starting point for decision making. And I think giving the possibility for everyone analyze their music, it's important because what can happen is that we will be pointing finger. That's the record label who should do it. No, actually, that's the stores who should ban it. Or we're all waiting for someone to do something.
Right, we're waiting for somebody to make a move.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And this, I think here, it has to come from the legal side. It's coming step by step. Now we have a new law.
Oh boy.
Well,
we don't have time.
we wish we
don't
will
have
have the
time to
power
wait.
to. Yeah.
So,
We wish we'll have the power to put some laws in, but well, that's someone else who has to do it. And what we should all know that we should be all responsible because it's our music industry. It's our environment. So we should all be responsible of what we are sending in the music.
Their part, right? If each one of us that did their part, their creators, like they come, I'm telling you from Unison side, that they come and ask us, hey, can we register a song that, no, for now, no.
Yes,
And
but the
from
regulations are not in place, so everyone is making questions. Should I? What should I do? Should I pay him? Should I not? Should I? Well, there's lots of, for now still people have possibility to send the music to stores. We see the music but we have to make us question where this lead us in the long term in the music industry. And about royalties, that's what we touched the topic now today. The analysis and the estimation, what they say, it's very simple. And already we see a delusion problem that from the royalty pools, the real creators, real artists who are spending the time doing collaboration, really taking the time to create one good album, which they are receiving 24% of royalties less than before. Because the royalties pools are diluting.
The royalty pool is the same for, I'm sure you guys, most of you guys know where the royalty pools come from. It's either ad revenue or subscription revenue, and the amount of music is a lot more with all this generated plays. It doesn't have to be only AI, but it can be fake plays and stuff like that. But the royalty pool is the same, so it's like you were saying, it's getting diluted. So.
And it's estimated that in the next 5 years, it will be 10 billion of euro of cumulating lost. In the next few years, I'm talking about cumulative lost. So that's quite significant.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I don't know how we're going in.
In time.
It's almost time. That went fast, guys.
Yeah.
So as a kind of a close down, what do you guys think is the next step from each one of your guys' side of the music industry? What do you guys think is the next step, starting with Gigi?
I mean, I think with the explosion of AI, everyone is kind of looking for the golden solution to detect AI, and the recent research, including this major European Commission paper or report for the AI Act, which was led by our partners in the Pompeu Fabra University, says that there's no single technology that can do this alone. No? So to protect human creation, we need to focus our infrastructure into a more multi-layered approach using different technologies such as fingerprinting, which is BMAT's core technology, AI detection, or the neural network classifiers as audio, or we also have one ourselves. Also, audio watermarking, no? It's this permanent mark that you kind of inject. It's like this code that you inject in the audio waveform that it stays with the track forever. It just every technology has its counterpart. No, the audio this kind of technology just allows for very little information, so then you have to add another layer of cryptographic metadata. So there's a lot of things you can do, but you cannot rely on one alone. So you can, I think, our operating system also needs to take all these layers and put them together,
And evolve
that's
too.
kind of our way forward and how we're approaching things from BMAT.
We don't know where we're going. And I'm really worried where we are all going. But what I hope where we are going is we are going for conscience. And the more people will disclose it. I mean, people still have the rights to create the AI music and then even send it to stores. Maybe someone wants to listen. Fine, that market is open. However, this has to be disclosed and labeled. And in the stores, it has to be, in my opinion, really clear what is AI, what is not. And then has to really come laws that will regulate, make the
Because also
market
we're not
regulated.
touching on, okay, there's a label, but even if we label it, all right, do we put it on the part of the royalty pools? Still, should
it's
they
smaller-
receive royalties or not? If, in my opinion, and this is my opinion, if it's 100% AI generated, I think it should be out of the pool.
But
I think absolutely it shouldn't have this. To create one good track, it takes time. It takes you need to invest into learning how to create the music. This is bringing value to the music industry, creation, collaboration. It's time, it's love, it's passion, it's creativity. It's bring a value to the music. However, if you just ask a machine, do this for me, I call it plastic music. It
Yeah, the
doesn't
issues
bring
when it's now we're seeing, you said it yourself, we're seeing hybrids, like almost everything is a hybrid. It's not so much 100% generated.
Yeah, that's fine if some artists use it as just use one line, and this is also where we are going with audio. We will be able soon, very soon. So actually, in the final phases of development, we will be able to indicate which exactly layer is AI generated, if it was guitar, if it was the vocals. So we are searching for exact the signal from which stems are coming and from which platform to give even more information. So it's fine to use it as a tool. We all use tools, AI, that's absolutely not forbidden. However, if it's over 50%, you can't say that you did it because the 50% have high, most of it. And I think it shouldn't have the same royalty pools. It has absolutely different impact and different involvement, different plus it takes a different time to create it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you can, in 10 minutes, you can create, I don't know how many tracks on Zoom, I've never tested, but I imagine a lot. So
Right.
we always say for our clients, we focus on quality, not on quantity. Mm-hmm. And that's what music should be about. And the royalty shouldn't be fair for music. And I think many artists who are upcoming and trying to get heard and get visibility, they will be like, why I should compete with AI? You know, why I should do music myself if it's, and I will receive the same money as the music from AI.
That's the point. Yeah,
that's the point. I will discourage many new artists to enter to the music. So we already see that people less likely wants to discover the new artist, the new music. It's harder to listen to discovery mode, really. Harder and harder.
Yeah. And Jack, we're kind of like at the receiving end. We're like, what can we do?
Yeah. Well, I think,
What do you think?
well, I think we should just really sit back and let the robots win. Like, who needs research? Doesn't matter. Like, anything will do, you know? No, I think really now's the time where organisations should continue, or even more so if they're not ready, just working with partners and people that they are involved with within the industry mainly around thinking about what they can do in the areas that they work in. So like AMRA, for example, is part of a group of pan-European direct licensors called the TALG, which is, again, has like lots of us are competitors, but we get together and we've put guidelines around fraudulent claiming and how we can stop that and how we can approach that together. And I think we should all think about, in the parts of the industry we work in, like we have a responsibility here to protect our whole ecosystem and the creators who give us an industry to work in. So we need to work together and really identify where the problems are and what can we do about them. So I think that's one thing that's really important. Definitely more companies thinking about tagging, you know, like the technology of identification. I think these are important. And I think education is another one with around, you know, if you're, like for us being a PRO, we have, we're kind of a boutique PRO. We've got like 250 around songwriters. So we know them personally or their management personally, and we ensure that they know that to submit information of where things are AI or not. So we can start to get that kind of change, you know, in the culture of reporting things. So I think, and then also I think it's, you've got to stay strong in principles at this time. You know, when we're looking at licenses with streaming platforms, etc., making sure that there are provisions in there and there's pressure on to make sure that there are the right things in place to stop manipulation. Because I think if we don't really attack this, I think from like multiple fronts, that sounds a bit dramatic. Like I think, you know, it could just become a value extraction system. You know, like. Where there's streaming, all the metrics are there, you know, there's people listening. Well, there's not, there's robots listening, but there's no value being created, and this was all done from today backwards, you know, and obviously none of us want that. So, yeah, I think it's multiple. And I think one key thing as well is I think not to really get hung up on, we just need to identify, because I don't think it's the real threat from AI isn't just...
And also, it's not only AI, like Gisela was saying.
Exactly. And I think
we have other types of frauds going on, and we don't need to lose sight of those either, because.
Exactly. And I think AI is like just making that easier. It's just making it much more scalable really fast. So it's like, okay, these are the things as well we need to kind of look at, you know?
Yeah. Well, we're going to open the floor to some questions, and we have a gentleman here.
Thank you. Fantastic discussion. Really, really important to me, particularly. I've got 33 years as a professional songwriter and producer. So old school songwriting, you know, where we take more than 10 minutes. And I've also, I own and run a global songwriting academy, which is a strictly no AI zone. And I have a sync agency called Very Syncable, which is why I'm here. With sync, it's a different ball game, because even over 50%, that's too much. Because, and what's really interesting, I've just signed up for Audio, by the way.
Amazing.
Because, you know, I mean, look, a starter at $15 a month, that's insurance, because a music supervisor could blacklist an agent that sends an AI song. You know, that could be the ruination. So thank you for creating this, for starters. What's going to be really pivotal is being able to determine which part is AI. If it's a lyrical content, then we absolutely can't pitch. If it's AI mastering, then it's like, okay, that's a tool, that's a power tool. But if it's any of the creative side, the melodies, the chord progressions, the track itself, then that's not pitchable for us. It's not viable at all. And I'm also morally against it. Hence, this is my brand as well. Fuck AI, make real.
I want that.
By the way, if anybody wants a laptop sticker saying fuck AI, make real music, then just come and see me afterwards. But So I was going to ask you, there was a point to this. How soon is it going to be until you're going to be able to determine whether it's lyrical content, which breaking up the stems and the individual parts, rather than, we've noticed facets here or.
Yes, so we are, as I said, we are in the final phases of delivering. I think in the next 2 months to be sure that it's fully, that gives also the level of assurance. It's not just to give you, okay, it's done, take it. We are ensuring, first of all, that the result is really accurate.
Yeah.
That's the most important for us, because it's important for us to really investigate it deeply, because we know our clients base their opinion and their action on our result.
Yeah.
So if we make the mistake in the accuracy, then you will make decision that maybe can be wrong.
Yeah.
So that's why we really take our time and go deeper, and even deeper than deeper.
Brilliant.
To find the artifacts and to find where the signals are coming from. So we prefer to say 2 or 3 months to be sure that the technology will be full capable of providing the percentage of each layer and tell you this is the vocals, this is the master, this is the. So we will do the stems and we will analyze the stems and this is in our roadmap. 3 months out.
That's really powerful. I mean, I get people pitching me songs that have got AI vocals on them, and they're saying, "Oh, it's a session vocalist or something." And I run it through checkers, lots of checkers, because I refuse to deal with this. So if there is a definitive platform where I can get a really high percentage of accuracy, then that's brilliant. The last thing I wanted to say was that my personal take on AI music that is already out there. Stick it in a silo, stick it in Spotify B or something, so people can go in whichever door they want to.
Spotify AI.
Yeah, and absolutely. And then if they want to go and listen to it, they can go and sit in the nerdery and listen to.
Different royalty pool.
Yeah, or
Just
zero
for that.
royalty pool. But thank you for that.
Thank you for the question.
Anybody else? Oh, come on, don't be shy. We have a couple there.
Thank you for your question and sharing your knowledge. Something happened 1 month ago. Okay, so one friend who is a producer is lucky with his royalties because he produced 9 global hits. He's 60 years old. He's coming to Prague in Czech Republic to produce 4 new songs for a singer. So we are inviting to listen to the first 4 songs. Pretty cool. Normal analog, let's say, old-fashioned way to produce music and everything. And suddenly the singer is also a lyricist. And she's like, can you listen 4 other songs? And she produced these songs with Suno. Mm-hmm. But writing with lyrics. And she's a very good lyricist. But it's a different project. And she said to me, what should I do? How I protect my song? Should I create an avatar? Like myname.ai, and to have my analog and my AI avatar. I don't know how to answer, so if you can help me out to answer to her, could be good.
I mean, it's up to her, really. I think it's. I like that she's thinking about it. I think that's good for the industry. I think currently it also highlights the problem, right? That it's like she doesn't know. It's where there should be more, again, education out to be like, well, this is the thing. And the reality is there isn't really a definitive answer to that, right now. That's essentially, she can decide really right now. I mean,
Is it 50-50, your system?
I see. Okay, so it's when it comes to actual royalties that are paid out, there are the AI generated part. They'll be registered as X% and the human as X%, and we don't tend to get paid on AI. We don't make this decision. It's done at the DSP level. They detect how much, and then we would register the part of the song that we're told. But yeah, I think there's 100% of that song needs to go somewhere. So she would register 100%. Anyone. That's my view, right?
So from the technical point of view, we are investigating this thing because this is another very interesting topic. The lyrics, the recordings of the lyrics is one thing, but then where the lyrics are coming from, that's another topic, right? So far we are capable of, we're working on to provide to indicate that it was sing by
AI voice?
yes, that it was created by AI. As I say, we are working on it. And then we started the investigation if it's possible also to detect that this text of the song, we are also checking it. I cannot really say in which time it will be developed, but this is something that we are checking about the possibility of knowing.
We have
Still not. We know that there are some patterns of how the lyrics by the artificial intelligence are created, and if we ask ChatGPT to write us the length of each word will be pretty much the same. I would say there is a pattern they use to write the lyrics.
Choice as an artist, because 6 months ago she was not happy with the result. Now she is happy. As an artist, as a creator, she's happy with the result. So she was saying, like me, like you, fuck the AI 6 months ago. Now she said, oh, as a lyricist, I have my career as a singer, as a performer live and everything. Now, if I want to have a career as a lyricist, maybe it could be exposure. You see what I mean? It's super complex.
It's super
I didn't
complex.
think about that. It's just I'm sharing because we are with high-level musician, and everything starts with musician. It's creators first, okay? And if the creator is happy, you see, it's statistic is happy with the AI, but how he can share it, and it's not entire his own, so it's
Because right now there's no really a law. The lawyers and the different jurisdictions, the different countries. So they got to get together and they got to agree, which is not easy, especially with lawyers.
But I think
time.
it's also very complicated to write new policies and
It is.
create new
Of course.
payment models.
I'm just joking about it, but
new-
obviously,
if you don't give visibility to the people making
Right.
those rules, so that's
yeah. So it's got to start by
why we all have
establishing kind of like not only the law, but what things are we taking in account to create this law, like 50%. What 50% of what? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I mean, AI
very complex, yes.
detectors have two main challenges. One is the one you're tackling, which is understanding how much percentage of assistant does AI have in the track, and the other one is also the challenge that BMAT is tackling right now, which is the noise problem. No, the AI detectors are very accurate when on clean files. But as soon as you put noise on top and you put like an AI track in a TV show on a radio, the levels of accuracy can go down to zero because these digital artifacts you were talking about get diluted. No, so in our case we have a bit of advantage because we've been working in the real world of broadcasting. So we've trained the model to in broadcasting conditions from the very beginning. So the AI detectors, they rely on what you've trained them to see. So in our case, because we listen all the time to real broadcast audio, we've managed to train the models to detect AI even when it's played in the background.
okay.
So, but yeah, I think it's everyone has a bit of responsibility, and on the side of technology companies, we need to give visibility to the industry. They need to know what's out there and in what level, so they can make their own informed decisions, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. I think the law will and policies catch up, and I think really, I think it's a question from more of a moral standpoint now for all creators, which is, okay, do I think is this adding value, or am I just ripping something off it? If it's, okay, I've wrote all these lyrics, I've just put it in a different way, I would then look at the label, look at your publisher and go, what are their policies with this? And if they're asking for percentage AI generated or something like that, give it a shot. To go, okay, I think this is about 60%, that feels right. Because I think that's the most that creators can do at the moment. And I think, again, it is on the industry to push for these things, to be able to give the guidance to the creators of the music. So, yeah, I mean, it's a good question because it just exposes where we are, right? And I think, yeah, if I was to give my view on what creators should do, it should just be do what feels right, I suppose, right now, and don't feel the pressure of this is my problem. I think it's the industry's problem. And work with your labels and publishers and your societies to know what are their guidelines.
Yeah, I think we got to get going, but the last question is my husband, so I'm kind of biased.
Well, I'm a K-pop producer, okay? And in K-pop, in that industry, they have a zero tolerance for, believe it or not, for AI. And so this is more of a right or wrong question for you guys on this side of the industry. As a producer, I'm kind of with this dude, like, fuck AI, you should be able, as a producer, make your own music. But if I'm making my own music and I'm making a track, I don't play guitar. I can play, everything else but that. So if I go to the Suno box and I extract the guitar part onto my original track, right, with the idea that later I'm going to go and have another guitar player do that over, so none of my track is AI. Is that the right way? Is that the wrong way in your position?
But you see, you are using now.
Check. Hello? What?
You are using Suno as sort of like a demo. Tool. Like a demo tool. I think this is a great way to use it. So you create something because you have this idea, a singer, but after singing yourself, you create the track, and then you say, oh, I want this guitar, but you don't know how to play it, so you give the prompt. You are using Suno as a tool. Then you create this system, you put it on your creation, and you are like, yeah, that's so cool. So then after you can present it to someone who will actually play those guitars. And this is what they were talking about, a tool that will help you create your productions and be better as a producer. But this is something different by someone that just sit on the computer, just write the prompt, creates like a song in 5 minutes, and after pretend that it was done by itself. And then it gets sort of like frustrated when you say like, this is not you. Because, you can be a producer as well if you write. But if you're a producer and you need to write the prompt to create a track, maybe you shouldn't be a producer at all. Yeah, I know. I don't know. But as far as like a guitar part,
yeah. Guys, they're going to kill me. It's super interesting. And I know we're going to be around, so if you guys want to talk to the panelists after, but I think we got to close down the panel. Big round of applause for our panelists.